Hey boys and girls, well, you can tell that I'm in the truck. Let's roll the intro and we'll get into it. Hey guys, Adam here. So, as you can tell, passed my DOT physical. Yay. It took a few weeks to get everything under control, but the diabetes are under control, on medication, but it seems like that it's going very well. For me, so I may be able to get off some of the medication here in the next couple of months. So as long as I'm eating correctly and exercising like I should, which I'll get into that in depth more in later videos on how I'm doing that. Kind of schedule that I'm going to be trying to keep and stuff like that. So but yeah, so everything went good. Went to the doctor and she signed off on all my medical stuff. All my numbers looked really good for the 2 weeks. It was more like 3 weeks, but the first week was just getting the medication set and in my body and everything, you know, getting the levels right. So that done, and drove back to Springfield last Thursday. Today is the 13th, Monday, so you know, 4 or 5 days ago. I planned on doing a video before this, but it's just the way things fell. But yeah, I wanted to let you guys know that, you know, everything went good. I went in to take my DOT, gave them the paperwork, they looked it over, you know, had to go give a urine sample because that's what flagged me the last time, because there was sugar ketones in my urine, and that's a direct cause to effect. If you have that in your urine, your sugar's high, probably diabetic. So that all taken care of, did that. They came back and said, hey, you have no sugar, no ketones in your urine. Doctor will be in about 15 minutes. She walked in, she looked at everything, said, okay, I'll go get your card. Didn't do anything else. Didn't do my blood pressure, didn't do my eyesight, because I had done all that before. My blood pressure was a little high the first time, but not enough to red flag me for anything. So got my card, went back, and well, let me go back a little bit. So I get there Thursday night. Yeah, I call my dispatcher, Nikki, up and say, hey, you know, do I have to get a hotel room or can I stay in the truck? She says, no, just go ahead and stay in the truck. So I already figured this was going to happen, but went to the truck, got in it. I was like, all right, cool, everything's here. And then I was like, okay, well, the lights are coming on, cool. Turn the key on, dash lit up. I'm like, cool. Went to go start it. Nothing. Batteries were dead. Just had enough to keep the LEDs on. So I was able to find somebody there, and it was, you know, 7 o'clock at night, so there was only a few people there with you know, the night dispatchers and stuff. So had a pair of jumper cables, still had my rental car, so I went out there and hooked the rental car up to the truck. And of course, batteries were like at 10 volts, you know, 14-volt system. It was taking forever. Well, then one of my friends pulled up, said, "Hey man, you want me to hook it up to my truck?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, it'll do it a lot faster." So he pulled up, pulled his side panel off, and we hooked up the pair of jumbo cables I had to it, and then he got another pair out, hooked it up to another set of the batteries under there, hooked it up. That way we're having 2 sets of batteries, let it charge for about 2 or 3 minutes, boom, started right up. So of course the batteries were dead, had to let them run for a good long while to get them up enough for me to feel safe to go turn the truck back off and everything. So I went to sleep, then got up the next morning and then went and did the medical test, all that stuff. Came back, had a couple of yellow lights on the truck because of the battery being dead and everything. So took the truck for a test drive. Those lights went out after the battery's fully charged on everything. Came back and told Nikki, "Hey, I'm ready to go." So this is something that I want everybody to know. Okay, Wilson bent over backwards for me on this. I mean, they got me a rental car. You know, when I couldn't make it back in a week, they extended the rental car. I'm gonna have to pay for that. That's no big deal. You know, it was about $1,000. They're gonna take it out of my check over 10 weeks, I believe. So about $100 a week. But what they did, since I was back, it took me 3 weeks instead of 1 week. They suspended my lease so I wouldn't come back in the negative. Now, I don't know if this is a common occurrence, but I mean, that was super helpful. Otherwise, I would have come back to, you know, $3,500 in the hole. So my thoughts and understanding when I was told this was that they're going to suspend the lease. Now, I hear suspend, and I think they're going to kill the lease. You know, meaning, you know, anything I had in my maintenance fund was going to be used towards the truck. Yeah, I think I got around $3,800 in the maintenance fund right now. So I come back fully expecting to sign a new lease and start from zero. Nada. Nothing. So I'll go back after my test drive, tell Nikki, "Hey, I'm ready to go. Go ahead and, you know, get the new lease and I'll sign it and I can hit the road tomorrow." So that was Friday last week when I told her this. And she was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna get the lease dated for tomorrow, so that's one less day you have to worry about paying for." I'm like, "Okay." She calls me in about 15 minutes after that and she goes, "Well, you don't have to sign a new lease. What they did was they just suspended your terms for those 3 weeks. That way you don't owe anything and they're not taking anything away from you. So you'll still have your maintenance fund and all that stuff." And because of the kind of lease I have, I guess, because my lease runs out when this truck hits 365 or 395,000 miles, and then I turn it in for a new truck, or I keep using this one and buy it, which I'll probably just get a new truck. I mean, I'm at 125,000 now. I've been driving for 6 months. I got it when it had 56,000 miles on it, so I put 50,000 miles on it in 6 months. So you figure another 200,000 miles will be about 2 years, year and a half. Probably a year and a half when I start training again. And because I ran some miles with my first trainee, which, by the way, Eric did, I had about 9,500 miles left with him, and when all this happened, so he had to go to another trainer, and he finished his miles, became an AC, and he was in class today for his lease class. And sorry guys, this trucker just threw a whole bunch of trash out his passenger window. This is the reason we have bad names out here. It's because it's idiots like that. I should take it and go fill it back in his truck. I really should. It's just retarded, I swear. Anyways, I'm sorry. So he should have his truck tomorrow. So, Eric, awesome job, man. I apologize again for dropping you out there with that 9,500 miles on you and everything, but you got it knocked out. You did it. And I know it was hard from what you told me, but it's all for the good. So I was also able to talk to four other students to pick my next student. Try to get a feel on him and everything. So went ahead and picked my next student, and I will be picking him up sometime around the 27th. He tests that Monday, the week of the 27th, which I think Monday the 27th. So I'm not sure if I'm going to pick him up straight from Springfield or if he's going to go back home, and then I'll pick him up later that week, because I'm going on home time next week of the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I'll be coming back that Saturday. Because I got some more doctor's appointments that I got to do, so I got to start making sure I get my doctor's appointments in and all that good stuff. But the good thing is, he only lives about 35 miles from me in Atlanta, so that'll be good. If I have to go home for any reason, he's right there. I can pretty much drop him off at his house, and he can have time at home. Don't plan on doing that unless I have doctor's appointments, but we'll go from there and we'll figure that out. So by March, I should be training again, and if we can do anything like me and Eric did, and I should have him done in a month and a half, 2 months at the tops, because we did run some miles. So I mean, like I said, I almost had Eric done in a month and a half. So, and if it would have been 2 months with him. But yeah, guys, so I picked up a load Saturday there in Springfield, and picked it up at Prime, and of course it was coming back to Atlanta. I had 3 stops on that. One stop, let's see, I drove Saturday, stopped in Memphis, West Memphis, at the Petro there. And then I drove yesterday to Temple, Georgia, just because the first appointment was due at 5 o'clock this morning, on Monday, today. So went there, stayed the night, got up at 3, drove to the first place. Delivered there, was in and out in probably about an hour. Well, got there right at 4:30, appointment was at 5, got out about 7 o'clock, so not terrible. Went to the next stop, which was Colorado Beef Company. Didn't have an appointment there, but they got me right in the door, but good night. It was a back and a half, I'm telling you. I want to get another camera so I can record some of these backs, but this thing was so awkward. Of course, all the trailers, there was no trucks in there. Everybody had to drop their trailer and then bobtail to a bobtail parking area. And dude, when I'm saying tight and awkward, so it was pretty much a driver's side 90, but you didn't have any room. So basically you just had to, pull in straight, turn the wheel all the way to the right, and just cut that trailer straight in. There was no doing an offset or anything like that to get in there. And the bad part is there was only a finite space you could put the truck, because you had your drive area, and you had where all the trailers were parked right here, and then here was a concrete hill. So basically, I'm doing this, having to go up on this hill, and my truck's like at a 45-degree angle. Going around this thing, I had to pull up 4 or 5 times so I could get it in there, and get it in there as straight as I could. Got it in there as straight as I could and hit the door, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. Dropped it, went and parked, went in the back to lay down, and I get a text message saying, hey, your stuff's ready. Apparently they only had 1 pallet. I couldn't really tell, they didn't have really anything on the paperwork for it. So went, hooked back up, went to the next stop, which was a restaurant depot in Buford, Georgia. Appointment was at noon today, and got there about 10:45. Of course, everything is by appointment only at this place. So I'm parked on the side of the restaurant depot, because pretty tight backing area at this place too. Most restaurant depots are. I've done 4 or 5 of them. So they were like, hey, we'll get you when we can, And I said, hey, not a problem. I'll just go out to the truck. Came back to the truck and took a nap till about 12:45. And I knocked on the door saying door 3, went in there. Again, like I said, pretty tight, but not as tight as the Colorado Beef. Got it in there, parked. I think that was 1 o'clock. Getting unloaded was quick. Guy had me unloaded 10 pallets probably in 20-30 minutes tops. And then so that was about 1:30. 4 o'clock I got out of there, because it just took them forever to count it. Forever. And the freaking lumper fee was unbelievably high, $315. Crazy. I had lumper fees at every single one of them, but this was the only place where I actually had to call and get an express code and write a check. The other ones did everything electronically through the fuel card, which I love that. It makes it so easy. So I think in total it was like $600 in lumper fees today for 3 stops, give or take. But then got out of there at 4 o'clock, you know, and I'd been on the road since 3:30. So, you know, I had been wheel pairing all day. So had about 4 hours left, really couldn't do anything. So I found a truck stop near me, or fairly near me. It was like 35 miles away. It was the closest one, because I wasn't going to go back into Atlanta at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I know better than that. I live here. So drove north a little bit to Jefferson, Georgia. Nice little QT that I've stayed at before. It's where I'm at right now. So hopefully the light's still good. The sun's going down right now. So, but got to load in the morning. Got to go down to Noonan, Georgia. So that's probably a 2-hour drive down there. I've got to stop, get a washout, probably go. I might get the truck washed. I don't know. I'm still pretty tight since this is the last run that I'll be able to do this week. So I don't know. She's still pretty clean from when I dropped her off at the shop. So 3 weeks ago, and she's just been sitting around. So I know she's been snowed on, but she's not terrible looking. So I may just get the trailer washed out and then drive down to Noonan, pick up that load from Cargill, and then I'm going up to just the other side of Greensboro, South Carolina, to a Walmart, which isn't due till Wednesday at 8:30. So I should be able to make it all the way out there tomorrow, find a parking spot, and you know, have a good night's rest, and be able to hit it again after I drop this on Wednesdays. So I got something coming in the mail, guys. So when I had this rental car, it had, you know, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay on it, and I got kind of addicted to that, to tell you the truth. So I found this company that has Android Auto CarPlay additions that you can add to a vehicle that doesn't have Android Auto or CarPlay. And of course, these trucks don't, or at least my truck don't. My truck don't. Words are hard. Maybe the ones that came with the media centers and everything, maybe they have it. I don't know. But I have asked them if I can review their product. They have sent me an email back so they can look at my YouTube channel. So hopefully they give me a chance to review this product for truckers. It's a nice little 10-inch screen, but it's low visibility format. So I mean, it's like this. You know, it's not like a big tablet, a 10-inch tablet. You know, it's 10 inches, but it's only like 7 inches high. So I mean, it's something that you can place on your dash, and it won't affect your looking out the mirrors or anything like that. But once that comes in, I'm going to do a review on it, and you know, maybe I can get an affiliate link or something like that. So if you guys are interested in it, but just the basics on it, you know, it'll work with CarPlay, Apple, and Android Auto. You can Bluetooth it to your radio, or you can aux it in. On the Android Auto or the CarPlay, you can either have it wired to your phone, like most cars are, where you have to plug the wire in and plug it into the car, then it activates. But it also has wireless Android Auto and CarPlay, so you don't have to hook it right to the unit. And then you can, you know, have your Google Maps on there, Waze. There's a whole ton of apps you can do, Audible, other podcast apps and such like that. So we're gonna look into that. I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna try to do an unboxing on it, and I'm going to do a 1 month review, 3 month review, 6 month review, because I'm putting that in my truck because I think it'll just be helpful for me, because us truckers, we like listening to our podcasts and our music and everything. So I think it would be a great addition to the trucks. For making it easier for us to listen. And it has Siri and Google Assistant on it, so all you have to do is say, "Hey Google," or "Okay Google," "Hey Siri," and you can just tell it, "Hey, play me blah blah podcast," or "Play me this on YouTube Music or Spotify, iHeartRadio," all that stuff. So but I think that would be pretty cool. I'm also trying right now, I'm trying out Trucker Path on one of my tablets for 7 days to see if I like it. Today was the first day that I really used it. Meh, so far. I do like that it has mom and pop truck stops on there. Unlike my Garmin, where it only has, the Loves, the Pilot, Flying J, and the TAs, and it'll say other ones, but it doesn't have any information on them. Trucker Path does do a pretty good job on letting you know how many spaces are there, if spaces are available. A lot of truckers keep up with making review or doing, on time alerts saying that if there's places available, if they're paid only, if there's a lot of spots, some spots paid only. So we'll see how all that goes. I just don't know if I want to spend that type of money on it when I can still get most of the benefits on the free version. Just can't use it as a navigational tool, which is fine. I can still use it. I can still set my route, and it'll follow me, so I'll be able to see the truck stops coming up and this, that, and the other. And with the addition of that and the Garmin, it'll probably be all right. So I'll let you guys know how that. I know probably some of you guys already use it. I talked to my trainer. That's the reason I'm trying it out. He pays a year at a time, which is a little expensive, but like I said, I just don't know if I want to pay a monthly fee like that, or even a yearly fee. I mean, it's like $25 a month, and like $250 a year, something like that. So, of course, I need to call my tax agency and see if I can take it off on taxes. If I can take it off on taxes, I might do it. So if it's a tax break, it's a tax break. But yeah, guys, let me just say this, man. Thank you for all the support that you guys have given me over the last almost month now, over this situation. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on diabetes and how to eat good on the road. And I'm gonna do a review on my, I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, I've got a little continuous monitoring sensor. I got some grease on me earlier. I just want to make sure it wasn't on my shirt. For my glucose and everything. Pretty nice little unit. I don't know if I can pull it up while I'm videoing. Probably not. But yeah, I'm gonna do a review on that. Lifesaver. It really is, because it constantly monitors your sugar, lets you know if you're going high or going low. So far this week and last week, I had a spike here and there, and I had a drop here and there. But that's just because I over medicated and got one low blood sugar. So I adjusted the medication after that, because my sugars are getting level again. So dropped down some units in the insulin, and so I've been in the green constantly. I think it's like 96% of the time for the last 3 weeks. So really good stuff. I think I put the charts up on my last video. Looks even better now, honestly. I didn't take any insulin last night before bed because I was at 100. So I took my metformin, my pill, last night and this morning. I wasn't able to eat until about an hour ago, and I went to Wendy's, had a big bowl of chili and 4 nuggets. Actually filled me up, honestly. And then found this little candy bar. It's from Quest. The Quest bar. It was cookies and cream, and it doesn't affect my sugar. So, and it tastes pretty decent. It's not like a cookies and cream bar, but pretty decent. But yeah, I know the lights are getting low here, guys. Sun's about to go down, so more on the diabetes stuff to come. I'm gonna try to bump the channel up a little bit more. Thank you, guys. As of this afternoon, I was 290 subscribers. I filled my DOT video. Last I checked, 4,900 views and almost 100 comments. My update video, almost 1,000 views and about 25-30 comments. For all the new people that have been subscribing, I greatly appreciate it, guys. Push me out there. I know a lot of you guys are brand new students. I met you last week. You can see how good the company is to people. For what they did for me. A lot of companies won't do that. Not even. Well, I don't know. I've never heard of the other carrier in Springfield doing something like that. Speaking of that, I did meet somebody that I've been watching for 2 years. Give him a shout out. Finally had a chance to go down on the pad when I picked this load up the other day and say hi to him, shake his hand, and tell him thank you for giving me the encouragement to do this. Twisted D. I'll put his link, his channel link, down in the description. He's one of the trainers over there at Prime, one of the drivers. So always has great information. We talked for a couple minutes. He was with a student, so I didn't want to tie him up forever, but we may be doing a collab here pretty soon on one of his lives. He does lives, I think, twice a week, maybe 3 times. I think it's twice a week though. And me giving him information about Wilson, and for people who maybe that doesn't want to go to Prime or couldn't get through Prime, maybe they can get to Wilson. So I'll give them some information. But hey, Twisted D, appreciate you spending 5 minutes with me yesterday, and hopefully we can do this collab in the near future and everything. I think it would be great. But guys, I appreciate it. I'm gonna drop this here. You know, follow me on my social networks. I'm gonna drop those down there. If you're thinking about coming to Wilson, I would greatly appreciate you using my driver code. You know, I get a little bit off that, which I try to put everything that comes off that back into the channel. Cameras, microphones. I got some lights I want to get for this thing because it gets dark, as you can tell, and I want to have a couple of lights in here so I can do videos. But if you guys are thinking about coming to Wilson, check out Bradley. I'm gonna drop his info here. That video is coming soon with him. I'm also going to try to do a video with my dispatcher. She's awesome. She's the greatest. I don't care what anybody else says about their dispatcher. Mine's the best. I just got to pull her away from her computer for 5-10 minutes. Which she's one of the busiest dispatchers at Wilson. She's got probably 60 drivers she takes care of, and she takes care of every single one of them like it's her only driver. Even when she has 2 boards, she's having to run. Awesome lady, Nikki. But watch for those coming in the future. Couple weeks, new student. I'll see how he is, if he wants to be on video or not. I know Eric didn't, and I understand his reasoning for that. So, but guys, I appreciate it. As always, you know, you're out here doing this, especially you new guys. Don't be overly confident, be overly cautious. As soon as you think you know everything, something's going to happen. It's going to mess you up. So don't get out there and start back, and don't think you don't have to get out and go. Man, I got out and go at least 5 times today because I had to, you know, and it's what you need to do. But guys, be safe. God bless. And I'll see you guys down the road. Have a great night.